everyone, and welcome back to Psychology Eats. So, what's eating you? Psychology Eats is here to help you. What's eating you? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So if you are new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you found me. Let me get my little thing and I'm glad you found me. I am a reaction channel, and I react to what's happening on these YouTube streets. I am a 30-year vet in the world of psychology. I'm a psychology professor and also a content creator. So you can find me here on YouTube. I have this channel, Psychology Eats. I have an ASMR channel if you're into that. And I also have a channel called Psychology Live Show. And I drop all content about psychology over there on that channel without, the drama and the tea. But I do love me some drama, and I do love me a little bit of tea. And so today I am talking about MC Shakie. So for those of you who don't know, MC Shakie is also a content creator here on YouTube. And I think I found him on YouTube. And I've been following him, I think, for a couple of years now, actually. And so he's big on YouTube, IG. I think I follow him on IG and also on Bigo. Now, I'm not on Bigo, but I see clips of him on Bigo. So I know that he was over on Bigo doing his thing. And so some of you may know him because him and he does content on a lot of different content. So definitely go over and check out his channel, MC Shakie. I'll put a picture up so you'll know where to go to find it. But a little bit more of the backstory with him. He was in a long kind of back and forth battle with Supercent. I'll put her picture up. And Supercent is also a content creator that is the owner and operator of the Crayon Case. Well, these two have been going at it for years. And legend has it, now they both from Louisiana, but legend has it that originally MC Shakie was just really trying to give Super some information about her baby father, Louis. And so he knew, because let me say something. MC Shakie, if you want to find out anything about anybody, the man know how to dig into people's backgrounds. But I'm going to get to that. But anywho, so him and Super was going at it because I guess he tried to tell Super, Louis ain't no good. And he cheating on you. And I guess Super took it the wrong way, according to legend, according to what I remember. And then she called Shakie out of his name. Shakie is openly gay. And I think she made some homophobic statements toward him. And honey, why did she do that? Because he just would not get off of her for 2 years. So, okay. So during that time, Shakie started telling us about, his own history and his own situation. So Shakie had when he hit the YouTube scene and social media scene, he had just come out of prison from doing a 10-year bid. So Shakie must have been doing that in his 20s. Because he's not an old guy. He's probably still in his 30s. Late 30s, 40 maybe. So anyway, and that's another part of his life that I was very interested in. Because he did prison stories. And I believe he's written a book. Yes, he's written a couple of books on prison stories, and he was dropping YouTube videos. He gave us part 1 to part 50,000, honey. And he told us all about his 10-year life in federal prison. So let me get to a little bit about what his crime was then and now. So he was in federal prison for what it sounds like to me, fraud, scamming, money laundering, along those lines. Not like violent, like he wasn't going to the Piggly Wiggly in Louisiana and holding it up with a gun. Mm-mm. 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 That's not what his thing is. His thing is more, I'm gonna go to the Piggly Wiggly with some checks that ain't no good, or some credit cards that I don't got a hold of illegally, and then I'm gonna go on the Piggly Wiggly and get some cash off of that. Stuff like that. We call those blue collar crimes and non-violent crimes. And usually for those non-violent crimes, you get federal time, depending on how much money you don't scam out of folks. You get federal time. Now, it's been all, if you know anything about prisons and state prisons, local prisons, county, everybody know federal time is easier time because they are not, in most cases, they're not violent criminals. So you ain't got to worry about nobody trying to stab you with a toothbrush that they don't carved out. You ain't really got to worry about that in federal prison, allegedly, from what I know. Now, me personally, as far as my career, I worked in juvie. And so I worked in juvenile justice system. And, you'll get a couple but you wasn't in where I was. It wasn't a violent facility. Now, I know in other parts of the country, juvie can be just as rough as county, as federal, as, state prison. But, okay, let's get back to, okay, so Shakie, he did 10 years. Child, just to think about 10 years. Now, he did 10 years in prison for these high-level blue, what they call them? Child. Crimes was not involved. Violence was not involved, right? But you ripped people off. You stole from people, and you stole from companies or whatever. And for that, you need to be punished. And so he did his time. And please go to his channel to find out what he thinks. I am going to talk a little bit of a clip that a video that he dropped a day ago, which for me was interesting when he talked about his mental health. And a lot about his own childhood backstory. He talked a little bit about that. And because people are asking him, like, after you did all those years, why would you come back out and repeat the same crime? So let me bring you forward. He has just been, now he only been out of prison, I think he said he got out in 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22. He's been out of prison for 4 years. And during those 4 years, or however long, under 5, he has been able to build a huge, you hear this, I'm sorry guys, I'm hot. He's been able to build a huge YouTube following, social media following, right? Not only, he sells products on his YouTube. He sells his book. He's an author. So he accomplished a lot after doing a 10-year bid. But unfortunately, he became again involved in blue collar crime. White collar? Is it white collar? White collar crime? Non-violent crime on and about 2018. And he became involved. Now, I don't know the specifics of what he did. Alleged fraud, scamming, money laundering, that sort of thing. Which is why, he got this federal time. So he was just indicted. And he has been sentenced to 70 months in prison. Now, just like you, I had to count. Now, 12 months is a year. 12 times 3, 36. 448. I couldn't go no past. The man got 5 years. Let's say 5 years. But he knows the system very well. He said he'll probably be out in 3. He's not a violent person. He's going to go in and take some classes and do the work, therapy. And he was talking about some other things that he can do in order to get some of that time off. Hold on, guys. Okay. So I want to play a little bit of, let me turn my fan off so y'all can hear him he talks about in this particular video, his thoughts about why he committed the same crimes over again after he had just did 10 years of, even though it's federal time, prison is not easy. Federal, state, juvie, you name it. Being imprisoned and your freedoms taken away from you is not easy. It damages you mentally and physically. And definitely is traumatizing for the person that goes through that. But this part of his clip, he talks about, because people ask him, why would you do it? Why would you do it? Part of it for him was necessity. He says when he got out of prison, he had nothing. He was sleeping in his car. His social media had not popped off. And, when you leave prison, you leave with nothing. If you work $1 a day, through the prison funding, like you need the money to buy things that you need while you're in there. That's a whole nother video. The fact that they don't provide prisoners with much of anything. And expect their family to help them out. And oftentimes they burn so many bridges, nobody's there. So that's pretty much what happened with Shakie. So let's listen to a little bit of what he thinks is the reason why he recommitted the same crime that he's been convicted of and he's about to do 70 months, 5 years after he just finished a 10-year bid. So let's listen.
Prison did not fix me. Therapy. Psychology of it is. And if you know my story, I did this in 2018, and then after I started to, I tried to become a different person. I started to accept a lot about myself, but that was coming because I started therapy. I started mental health. I realized that I was insane and I was on a path that led to my self-destruction, and I had to make a choice and say, and we were taught, I'm black and I'm coming from the hood, from New Orleans, and it's like we've been taught that, oh baby, only crazy people go seek counseling and stuff like that, and so I'm not gonna do that. I'm strong, whatever. Counseling is the reason why I was able to tell y'all prison stories. Counseling is the reason why I was able to admit to being raped in prison. Counseling is the reason why I was able to tell that story and help somebody. Counseling was the reason I was able to abstain from crime since this issue. I've abstained from crime. I don't have a parking ticket since then. I don't even have a speeding ticket since then. Even though I drive a little heavy, but I don't even have a speeding ticket since 2018. And so the reason that is because my mindset changed. I started thinking different. And so I started thinking different through therapy. Prison didn't do that. Prison didn't do that. Prison don't get you to think different. Actually, if it does get you to think different, it gets you to think worse, to be honest with you. The criminal justice system in this country is skewed. So it fosters people like me. It fosters that. It doesn't stop it, it creates more of it.
That's right.
There's a lot of times we see people that we they go to prison and go back, and y'all think, oh, they must like it in there or something like that. But it's not the case. It's that their mindset hasn't changed. The mindset that they curated in prison was a mindset of criminality. Because you're around criminals. You take criminals and put them around more criminals, and you make criminals that did more criminal stuff more popular and more the sociology component of it is what do you think? Because prison is going to be a breeding ground for more criminals.
That's
right.
It's
not going to. So there has to be.
So I'll stop it there. Please go and check his video out. In the last few videos that he's been posting about his soon to be incarceration, he's going to keep his channel. His family is going to continue to upload and stuff like that for him. From what I understand, you can do stuff in prison, but don't Shakie. Don't go in there uploading videos unless you get permission. Because we don't want you to get in any more trouble and mess up your time. And I appreciate what he said about counseling. And also about dealing with the trauma. When he initially went into prison that he was raped. I think he was initially going through like the county prisons and stuff like that, but whatever, you can also be raped in federal prison, don't get that twisted. But he went on to say that had he got some therapeutic intervention while he was in prison, that it may have helped him not to repeat the same cycle, because he would have gathered some greater understanding of himself and also begin to change his mindset. And so I'm going to end the video there. I wish him well. I really do. On this journey. Shakie does have children. And so anytime a father is away from their children through the prison system, nobody wins in that. So we just wish you well. And we'll continue to wait for your content to be dropped while you're in there. So everyone, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.